Your eyes open before the alarm. Something feels different this morning. No one warned you it would feel like this. Everyone around you assumes you're barely getting by. They have no idea what's sitting quietly in your accounts. $2.3 million. And total silence. Your brother-in-law leases a BMW and lectures you about renting, and you just nod. You sleep at 9:30 now, not because a guru told you to. Your body finally runs on its own schedule, instead of somebody else's. The house is a modest ranch in a neighborhood no coastal realtor would notice. You bought it 12 years ago for $210,000. It's worth $380 now, fully paid off. You put on the same jeans you've worn for years. You own 4 identical pairs, and it isn't suffering. It's the quiet luxury of never thinking about jeans again. You make coffee at home instead of stopping for one. Skipping the drive-thru saves close to $1,700 a year, but that number was never really the point. The real point was becoming someone who asks once, "Is this worth it?" and never asks again. You glance at the number for 90 seconds. That's the only time all day you'll look at money at all. 1.65 million sits quietly across 3 simple index funds. You haven't sold a single share in 18 years, not once. Not in 2020, when everything crashed overnight. Not in 2022, when the entire internet said the whole system was finished. You just kept buying every 2 weeks, like rent, paid to your future self. $380,000 in home equity, the deed resting beside your passport, and a photo of your father. $200,000 more sits in a taxable account, the bridge that lets you quit years before anyone else can. $60,000 in cash covers 18 months of expenses, and does almost nothing on purpose. Cash isn't an investment. It's insurance against ever selling at the worst possible moment. And $26,000 grows quietly for your niece, and nobody in the family even knows. You close the laptop, and the market will rise or fall today, and you will do absolutely nothing. That stillness is your real superpower, built over a decade, costing nothing but patience. At a red light, a brand new lifted truck pulls up beside you. $70,000. Almost certainly financed at $1,100 a month for 6 long years. That same $1,100, invested monthly instead, becomes nearly $1 million in 25 years. That truck isn't a truck. It's a millionaire who will simply never exist. The light turns green, and he roars off. Before we keep going, if this kind of quiet money story hits home for you, hit like right now. Drop a comment below telling us the one thing you're still spending on that you know, deep down, you don't actually need. And subscribe, because stories like Marcus's are exactly what this channel is built on. You still go to work senior project manager, over a decade in, 6 figures a year. Every paycheck now is pure surplus. And that changes how you carry yourself in a room. When your director floats a bad idea, you say calmly, "I don't think that works. And here's why." You can afford honesty, the most expensive thing in any office. 2 years ago they offered you a promotion, more pay, far more meetings, and you said no thank you without hesitation. Your director looked at you like you had declined a kidney. This is what money actually buys, not the yacht, not the watch, the no. Mid-morning, a younger coworker catches you in the kitchen. Tyler is sharp, 26, and quietly drowning in $8,000 of credit card debt he can't explain. You don't lecture him. You just ask if he wants the 2 sentences that fixed your life. Pay yourself first automatically, and never carry a balance on anything that doesn't grow. That afternoon you sent him a book, the same one someone quietly handed you 23 years ago. Lunch is leftovers, a few dollars a serving, while coworkers order overpriced delivery and complain about money in the same breath. You used to feel smug about that. Somewhere past your first 500,000, the smugness simply burned off. It quietly became preference instead, and nobody can sell you that feeling. While you eat, you read, having quit daily market commentary years ago, and your returns improved immediately. Nearby, a man is day trading on his phone, jaw tight, thumb scrolling like his life depends on it. And you were him once, years ago. It cost you $11,000 to learn you were the actual product. Your phone buzzes, and it's your sister. Her water heater just died. $1,300 she doesn't have. You hear the tightness in her voice. Someone rehearsing an apology for simply existing. You tell her you'll send it within the hour. It's not a loan. Water heaters break, and that's never a character flaw. That $1,300 is a rounding error to you, but it would have been a crisis for her at 27% interest. The greatest return you'll ever earn is deleting an emergency from someone you love. Mid-afternoon. A watch you've wanted finally drops in price. You could afford it the way other people afford gum, and you almost buy it instantly. Instead, you run the old questions. Will you still want it in 30 days? Are you buying the object or the feeling? And who are you wearing it for? You sit longest with that last question, and the honest answer is strangers. You close the tab, not from willpower, but from recognition. Maybe you'll buy it in 30 days anyway. Someday, somebody will discover the money and expect a lottery ticket or a hidden inheritance. There wasn't one. At 24, you invested 15% of a modest salary, and it felt like amputation. Every raise after that, half went to lifestyle, and half went straight to the machine, until you never felt a thing. You stayed married, insured, and out of car loans. You were mediocre at investing, and elite at simply never interrupting IT. 26 years. That's the entire secret. There is no secret, only a long, boring corridor. Almost everyone exits that corridor early because the walls have no windows and nobody applauds in there. Your first 100,000 took 7 years. The second 100,000 took 3, and the last one took only 5 months. Your neighbor Doug waves from his lawn, a boat, a camper, and 2 brand new SUVs behind him. He makes more than you do, and by every visible measure he's winning. You doubt he'd survive 4 months without a paycheck. You're not better than Doug, but you watched your own father get laid off at 54 with almost nothing. That night at 19, you decided nobody would ever do that to you. The neighbors see a modest house and an aging sedan, and they cannot see the promise underneath it. Invisible wealth is still wealth. Visible wealth, half the time, is just expensive noise. Dinner is with Elena, your wife, who told you on your 3rd date she had savings and a plan. You fell for her on the spot, and 22 years later, you still hold a monthly money meeting. 30 minutes, coffee, and numbers on the table. No ambushes. No secrets. Because money problems in a marriage are rarely math problems. They're surprise problems. You deleted the surprises years ago, and that changed everything between you. After dinner, you walk the same loop you always walk, thinking about a question a podcast asked that morning. "What's your number?" he asked. "When is it finally enough?" You passed your number long ago. Nothing happened. No confetti. The number just quietly became a bigger number. The finish line was always fake, and what the money delivered came gradually instead. The day you stopped fearing the mail, the day a layoff rumor bored you completely, the day you finally said no. Wealth isn't the number. Wealth is the density of no problem in your entire life. A broken water heater, a layoff scare, a market crash, no problem, every single time. You've become a quiet machine that converts money into calm. Someday, your niece will open a letter. It will explain what's been growing quietly since the day she was born. That will be the loudest thing your money has ever done. Today you earned money, spent almost nothing, gave away $1,300, and declined a watch. Nobody clapped and nobody knows. Tomorrow the market opens again, rises or falls, and you'll do nothing beautifully once more. Because when real money finally becomes permanently yours, it goes completely silent. And so, quietly, to you,